Good afternoon, everyone. I'm MLA Pete Guthrie. I'm very happy to be here today with Minister Dreeshen in support of the forestry industry. And thank you to Mayor Jeff Janun for joining us. And a special thank you to Spray Lake staff, CEO Arnold Fisselier, and owner Barry Melsness for hosting us at your facility. Spray Lake Sawmills is a family-owned, community-oriented business that's been in operation for 77 years. This company exemplifies the resilience of Alberta's forest and lumber industry. They are leaders in sustainable management practices, planting over 2 million trees per year and finding innovative ways to use every part of the log, including the bark. This innovation and concern for the environment has been around in the industry for decades. Graduating from engineering in the early 90s, I went to work in the pulp and paper industry, and I found out firsthand how Canadian mills were known for being world leaders in their sustainable practices. Unfortunately, it was also a time when activists and foreign interests began a campaign of misinformation meant to damage the good name of the forestry industry in Canada. The motives varied, but the result was increased costs for business, mill closures, and job losses, with demand for fiber being filled outside of Canada. This is an all too familiar theme and one that we are seeing throughout our resource sectors. Canada's wealth and economic strength comes from our resource sector. Whether it's energy, agriculture, mining, minerals, or forestry, these are the job creators that provide so many and so much for families all across our province. Having a leader in Spray Lakes right here in Cochrane is a tremendous asset to our constituency and provides strength for Alberta. I'm proud to be part of a government led by Premier Kenney that supports our sustainable and environmentally responsible resource sectors. The UCP government is fighting back. They're fighting back against the carbon tax, fighting back against Bill C-69, and fighting back against a federal government in Ottawa that is moving headlong against the resource sector and the livelihoods of Albertans. And with that, I would now like to introduce the Minister of Agriculture and Forestry, the Honourable Devin Dreeshen.
Well, thank you so much, Pete, and we're great to be here in windy Cochrane. Everybody said it was going to be windy today, and obviously the weather didn't disappoint, but just want to say thank you very much, Pete, for having us here in your constituency, and it's a pleasure to be here. And I'd also like to acknowledge the Mayor Jeff Janun, who did a tremendous job leading this town. It was something I just spoke with him earlier, and he said when you talk about a corporate citizen and a business that actually does so much for the surrounding community and for the town, Spray Lake Sawmills exemplifies that. They're the best. And that's something that, it's worth being recognized, because the more Spray Lake Sawmills that we have in the province of Alberta, I think everybody would be a lot better off here in the province. So I just wanted to welcome you, Worship, here today. And obviously, this area here in Cochrane in southern Alberta, it just shows the importance of a working forest. You can have a town so close to the city of Calgary, you can have amazing tourism opportunities, as well as amazing corporate citizen like Spray Lakes and the forestry sector that contributes to so much to the economy through jobs and GDP growth. And there's no better way to showcase the importance of our province's forest sector than to meet the people that are actually making it happen, and to see firsthand all the good paying jobs that provides. And I think at Spray Lakes, it's about 200 employees that are currently working right now, which is just excellent to see. And obviously, I'd like to thank President Barry and VP Arnold for allowing us to come here today. It's an amazing facility. We just came from Jasper at the annual AFPA convention, where all the forest sector companies get together around the province and talk about the importance of this sector to the province and to Western Canada. So I just want to say thank you, Barry, for having us here today. And since the spring, the lumber market here in the province of Alberta has taken off. It's been booming for most of the year with record lumber prices, and it's something that here in Alberta, it's great to see those record highs being realized here. So as Minister of Agriculture and Forestry, I know that Alberta's forest sector is a major contributor to our province's recovery and growth. And this year, the projected government revenues from the forestry sector is going to be about $300 to $350 million. And that's about a third of our oil and gas resource revenues. So just really putting that into perspective, how important forestry is to the province of Alberta. Now, Alberta's government is moving forward with our economic recovery plan, a bold and ambitious long-term strategy to build our province, to diversify our economy, and to create jobs. Now, Alberta's recovery plan will build on our strengths with timely, targeted investments and bold policy and legislative reforms that will create thousands of new jobs right now and make Alberta more competitive in the long term and accelerate economic diversification for our industries for the future. Now, forestry is a critical part of that plan, and that's why I'm pleased that Alberta maintains the most competitive forest sector in the world. Now, many countries or many jurisdictions saw reduced production levels due to the pandemic, but here in Alberta, we saw growth. And you don't have to look very far to the British Columbia's forestry sector. They've seen mill closures. They've seen an economic decline in their forest sector at the same time that we're booming here in the province of Alberta. So even though in BC there's been major curtailment to production in their forest sector, our forestry sector here in Alberta is booming. And that's good news for our economy and for jobs here in Alberta. So since April, the benchmark price for lumber has increased over 200%, about 215 to be exact, setting a record high price for the industry. And at a time with such uncertainty of our economy, this helps to maintain our competitive advantage, and it's an important part of our recovery plan. So we're building on whether Albertans, whether they're building new fences or decks or new housing starts here in Alberta and in the U.S., it's great to see that high-quality Alberta wood is being used for that across North America and the world. And in Alberta, the forestry sector is so important, not just because it supports over 40,000 jobs across the province, it generates billions of dollars of exports every year. And so that's why, as the United Conservative Government, we campaigned on the Forest Jobs Action Plan, and that is such an important way that we can support businesses to find new and innovative ways to support the sector. And it's identifying opportunities that will increase the sustainable allowable annual cut with an ultimate goal of an additional increase of 33%. And in fact, we've already achieved 13% of that increase in the sustainable annual allowable cut to date. So there's still more to go on that. But this plan balances the economic need for Alberta's wood with Alberta's commitment to a sustainable forest management system. And so far, talking about sustainability, Alberta's forest sector has planted over 100 million trees across the province, which will ensure the long-term sustainable health of our forest. And for every one tree that is harvested here in the province of Alberta, 2 is planted by our foresters. Alberta's forest sector has shown resiliency through these tough times, exceeding expectations and providing Albertans with wood products that they and their families need. And thanks to the hard work of the industry and proud family-owned businesses like here in Spray Lake Sawmills, Alberta is poised to continue in meeting this demand. And with that, I'd like to turn things over to Arnold for a few words. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Minister. We sure appreciate you coming out today. Really, it's a beautiful day. A little bit of wind. I also want to kind of recognize Peter Guthrie, our MLA for Airdrie Cochrane area. Thank you very much for doing this, Peter. And Jeff, the mayor of Cochrane back there, thanks for coming. We also have a couple members of our AFPA here too as well, which I'll introduce here in a bit. But welcome to Spray Lake Sawmills. We have a very proud 77-year history of sustainable forest management as a family-owned company. As a member of the forest industry, we play an important role in the Alberta economy and in the province's economic recovery. At Spray Lake Sawmills, we take our role in the economy and the management of our forests seriously. We are committed to supporting the communities in which we live and work through employment and investment. Investment made possible through the support and the confidence provided by the Alberta government. without that confidence, it's hard to kind of really build, you know, a sustainable business in this environment. And we're very grateful for that. And we're committed to building healthy forests, keeping the water clean, keeping the air fresh, and protecting biodiversity through forest management practices that are recognized amongst the best in the world. That's a real accolade when we have people, you know, around the world that kind of recognize, you know, our stewardship. So in saying that, it's my pleasure now to introduce from the Alberta Forest Products Association, Janice Simpkins. She's a Senior VP and Environmental Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Arnold. And thank you for having us today. We are so pleased to be joined by hardworking advocates like Minister Dreeshen, MLA Guthrie, and Mayor Gannon. Last week, I spent time with our board and Minister Dreeshen. It was clear that we share a vision for a prosperous Alberta that is anchored by our resource industries. We have seen our economy struggle and the toll the pandemic has taken on people and families. It is times like these that remind us of the importance of operations like Spray Lake that continue to be a pillar in their communities and a stable source of well-paying jobs. Our lumber and building products industry has prospered recently due to strong markets. People around the world are using our products to build their homes and to turn their backyards into family sanctuaries. We have also seen the importance of pulp products in keeping our frontline workers safe, our homes stocked with the essentials, and our workplaces clean. It is important to note that not all segments of our industry are doing well. Declines in paper use have hit producers hard. This is a good reminder that we cannot let our foot off the gas. We need to continue looking at policy options that our government is committed to, like reducing red tape, ensuring our industry can continue to sustainably harvest, and maintain the long-term competitiveness of our sector. The Melsdis family has been in business nearing 80 years. This would not be possible without putting people, community, and the environment first. It is this, coupled with policies like the annual allowable cut increase, that will lay the groundwork for many future years of prosperity. I know that Arnold and the team here at Spray Lake are looking forward to continuing to work with you, Minister Dreeshen, to capitalize on the opportunity that lies ahead of them. Thank you.
All right, so with that, we'll wrap up. Thanks, everybody.
Perfect. That was very easy.